Bam! My peoples. My peoples. You see it? JSmiff in the flesh, in the building. Just dropping in to talk a little bit of boxing with you guys. You know, the sweet science, what we love, what we enjoy. We want to talk about it for a little bit. Just some things that I'm seeing as I normally do, go through during my lunch break. I go through Ring Magazine, see what they talking about, see what Top Rank is talking about, Golden Boy, Matchroom, see what everybody's doing. I'm like, okay, let me chime in on these different situations, upcoming fights, circumstances that's going on right now. So let me see. Let me start off with Ring Magazine. Um, I can tell you right now, the last post from Ring Magazine is Canelo Alvarez. You know what? I'm gonna turn off. This lamp is crazy right now, man. I feel like I'm 2 blocks away from the sun. But I digress. I'm gonna turn that thing off, man. That thing is gonna make me go blind. Hold on, my people. Hold on. This thing is gonna make me go blind, man. Hold on. Let me turn on a different light. Because I'm not trying to go blind up in here. Here we go, my people. We back in the building. Not the same light, but we here. Troll Mafia. Salute. Bam. So, Ring Magazine, the latest post that they got on there is Canelo Alvarez. He's talking about his own memory of fights and history and all that. I'll tell you what, man. Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Buck Crawford. That's a mega fight. Biggest fight of this era. That's we can't compare with nothing else. What's going to happen? This type of the magnitude of this fight. And Ring Magazine has done a very good job of promoting it, man. Almost every day, they're posting either a picture or a video about the fight or something about Crawford or something about Canelo. My people's the Ring Magazine is promoting that fight real hard. And by the way, I'm giving y'all a special edition, live. Hit that like button, my peoples. Don't do what Tank Davis did to Lamar Roach and duck that like button. All you gotta do is click on that little like up there or double tap on the screen. Stop playing with me, my peoples. Boxing with Agent 17. What's good, JSmiff? You know what it is, man. Bam. We in the building. We talking boxing. That's what we do. Oliver, do you think Hamza Shiraz could knock Canelo over? I don't know, man, but that's a tough fight. Hamza Shiraz is a fighter that I got a lot of respect for, and he could be a tough fight for anybody. He's for real. By now, based on the pummeling session that Hamza Shiraz put on Edgar Berlanga, we have to respect him as a guy who's for real. Let them fight. You got to respect him. Hamza Shiraz is for real. And I'm expecting for him, if Canelo beats Crawford, of course Hamza Shiraz is going to go after Canelo. That's the fight he wants. But Canelo's not going to beat Crawford. I'm sorry to tell you, my peoples. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you. I'm just being honest with y'all. Oliver, boxing with Agent. Triple G could knock down Canelo. Why would Hamza? I mean, it's all about landing the right shot. So I wouldn't say that just because Triple G couldn't do it, somebody else is not going to be able to. It's about landing the right shot at the right time. Triple G wasn't able to land that shot. Simple as that. But you also had to take into consideration today's Canelo has a little bit more mileage and it's more battle worn than the guy that fought Triple G. Boxing with Agent. I uploaded that video you wanted. It's labeled The Zone. Got it higher. Got you, my brother. Marco. Oh man, Marco's a lame. Ran up in here just to watch me. Goofball. The goofiest of the oofiest. But I digress, my peoples. You can see it right there. The Ring Magazine, they've been putting a lot of time into Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. If you follow Ring Magazine, if you follow their social media, you'll see that pretty much every day you're seeing something about this fight, which I think we're already a few weeks away. We right there. Bub versus Canelo is around the corner, my peoples. We've made so many predictions. It's like it's almost split down the middle. So many people feel confident that Crawford is gonna be the one to win this fight, and then there's the people that say no, Canelo's too big. Canelo's the one that's gonna make it happen. You know, we can't wait. To me, the way this thing is playing out is exactly like Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. Superman Smith, what up? You got on early today? Nah. I'm actually doing a little 45 minutes at lunchtime. I'm at work, buddy. 45 minutes, my lunch, then I'm out of here. But again, my people, let's keep it 100%. Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is the biggest fight of this era. There's no conversation that could be had to dispute that. So let that sizzle in your spirit. Terence Crawford, the guy that everybody's been hating on. He's not a big star. He's not good enough. His opponents, we can all pick apart all of his opponents one way or another. None of them are any good. Even Errol Spence, we gotta wait to pick him apart. He wasn't good either. So basically, according to him, Terence Crawford's whole resume no good. And now he's the guy, one half of the biggest fight of this era of boxing is Terence Crawford. Look at that. And when I used to say, yo, that fight has to happen, a lot of people's like, nah, that fight don't make no sense. I would never watch that fight. Blah, 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 let's weight classes for a reason. I wouldn't watch. Yo, every single person who told me that, it's like they vanished. Now everybody wants to see it. Now, it's the biggest fight in boxing, like I told you. My people, Terence Crawford and Canelo out, like, there's no getting around it was the biggest fight. So Ring Magazine, obviously they understand that they're involved. His Excellency Turkey allows she owns them or owns a part of it. I don't know how it goes, but I know he has ownership there. This is the biggest fight. They're gonna promote it. And they're doing a damn good job, my peoples, of promoting this fight. Vic, Crawford is looking for third undisputed division, reaching out for greatness. Come on. And Terence Crawford has already achieved greatness, but he's trying to go further. Wow. Look, I have so many screenshots of people saying, nah, he's just looking for the bag. He's just looking for the bag. When he whoop that ass, they're going to find a different excuse. Watch. It's not going to be just, nah, yeah, damn, he beat him. He's that nice. That's it. We're going to have to give him his flowers. Shit. It's not going to be that, trust me. It's going to be, well, Canelo didn't look the same, and something was off about him. And I don't know because Crawford is with Victor Conti, so something he just could not be it. Somebody already told me that if Crawford win, he definitely did steroids. That's it. My man's already got his excuse made up, ready to go. That's it. You know how confident people really are when one day they tell you Canelo's gonna knock him out, and the next day they tell you, well, if Crawford win, it's because of the steroids, and if Crawford win, I don't know, man, Canelo's time was up. How you went from confidence to looking for the excuses of why he gonna lose? I don't know. I don't see the confidence. Mike Clute, I remember you used to be hooked. Huh? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. You got it confused over here. Vic, my favorite. Look, man, this fight is going to be one of the biggest fights in boxing. That's pretty much a guarantee. So we're all going to be tuning in. The people who say, that fight doesn't make any sense. I'm not even going to watch it. Those people, they disappear. I don't know where they're at. Now, those are the same people that are saying, Crawford is too small. He's going to get knocked out. But that's the same people that said those things about Crawford versus Spence. It's literally the same people. The same folks who told me, yo, man, Errol Spence is too big. He's going to knock him out. Crawford's not going to be able to handle the pressure. He's too small. Spence of the body. Spence is going to break him down. Yeah, I saw that pummeling session, right? And what happened after that? Oh no, the car accident and what happened was, and I just need you to understand that Arrow wasn't the same, and he was smoking weed that day. And what happened is that, that day he lost his blunt and he wasn't high. And before the fight, he had to smoke. And that's the reason why he lost. Like, bro, y'all gonna tell me that I didn't hear more excuses for Errol Spence losing than I heard Deontay Wilder spitting out. Deontay Wilder, bro, didn't have as many excuses as Errol Spence fans. Dog gave his homework on his way to training camp. The day of the fight, they gave him some whack trees and he couldn't enjoy it, and that's why he lost. Like, how many excuses did I even hear? Vic, Thurman was better. Look, man, I think that it's easy to try to or to judge Errol Spence by that loss. And I get that 100%. But what I want you to realize is that Errol only has that one loss in his resume. That's the only time he ever lost. So we gotta judge the career too, because I'm gonna remind you that Keith Thurman did not want to fight him. Do you remember that? Keith didn't want to fight him. So what do you make of that? And I'll remind you, not just didn't want to fight him, was ducking him, bro. Was ducking him. Because when Errol first was trying to call him out, Keith was like, nah, yo, you got to get a title. When you get a title, talk to me. Then Errol grabbed the title. Then Keith was like, yeah, he got a title, but he ain't really beat nobody. Who's Kel Pro? The usual discredit the opponent bullshit. Who Kel Pro? He ain't beat nobody. He got to beat somebody. So Keith just wasn't trying to fight Arrow, bro. He just had excuse after excuse. Then, when Arrow is the one with the 3 belts, he told Keith to go kick rocks. And I would have did the same thing. I would have did the same thing, my people. I would have been like, bro, you remember when I wanted a shot and you don't want to give it to me? Peace, salute, or handle your business somewhere else. But now, it's a different story. Because this time around, they're both coming off of a loss. They've both been inactive for about 2 years. Remember, the last time Errol Spence fought was in July of 2023. And the last time Keith fought, not Keith, because Keith fought recently. Keith fought more recently. He fought the guy in Australia. But he had been inactive as well. So Errol Spence and Keith Thurman, if they was to fight, but supposedly it can go down between Errol and Mel Charlo. But I think back then, Errol versus Keith would have been a good fight, and it's still a good fight right now. I think Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman is still a good fight right now. Yes, there's that question about how is Errol Spence going to look after losing that weight to Terrence Crawford? How's he going to look? Are we still going to see the same body snatcher, the same pressure fighter, or is Errol Spence going to be gunshot now? Superman. EJ did that to Bud too. I don't know what he did to Bud. He took a beating. Vic, Arrow is slow, hooks every punch, and has no agility. I mean, I don't know how you came up with that conclusion, bro. That's crazy. I promise you, Vic, you will never find a single post that you ever said that before he lost. You have never said that in your life before he lost. One loss, and goddamn, he got no agility. A guy that almost went to the Olympics and all that. You wildin'. You wildin', bro. Hold on, because we got a comedian in the building. That's the funniest shit right there. When you get kicked out before finish telling the joke, you goofball. Vic, he got traumatized. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. You're playing doctor right now, so I don't really know what you're talking about, bro. Superman. He told Hunt to get a belt like Keith did to him. Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact. But yo, Keith did him wrong. Because we all right here with the PVC, we talking about this keeping it in the same side of the street stuff. Superman. Buddy thought he was gonna tell a joke. Damn, the punchline got twisted. Now you're gonna have to make a whole new account just to tell the other half of the joke. What a goofball. But I digress, my peoples. Errol Spence, right now, we don't know if he's gonna come back. But remember, Charlo posted that cryptic message. A lion eating a shark. Who's the big fish? Errol. That's the big fish. So are we gonna get that fight? And that's what I got confused. When I was saying Keith had been inactive, that's what I meant to say. Jermell Charlo has been inactive for almost the same amount of time as Errol Spence. Errol's last fight was in July of 2023 when he got pummeled by Bud Crawford. And Mel Charlo's last fight was in September of 2023 when he got battered by Canelo Alvarez. Vic, Canelo should have honored his mandatory. I mean, Tank Davis should have honored the rematch. You should be asking for that. Oliver, Spence get better from alcohol yet? Honestly, I don't know what the situation is, his personal situations, but I have heard that he has been going to the gym, has been staying in good shape, spending time with the family, that he's doing the family thing. It sounds like he's doing good. But not as far as him training and preparing for a fight. It doesn't look like that's even in his mind right now. But with this whole thing about Charlo coming out and dropping that little, it looked like a subliminal message. I don't know. Maybe Errol is bound to come back. And I said before, he should do a tune up because that much inactivity. But I'm okay with him coming straight back to fight Jermell Charlo. Why? Because they both been inactive for the same amount of time and they both coming off of a loss. Oliver, I mean Vic, winner gets Fundora. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna say winner gets Fundora because let's see how that fight plays out. Let's see how that fight plays out first. I think it's interesting, man. I think Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence, that would be a very interesting fight because they know each other very well. They sparred with each other. I don't know. I don't know how many times they have, but I'm pretty sure, being when they were both under Derrick James, they worked together a lot. I've seen a lot of pictures and videos and shit where they're in the gym together. Oliver, Shane Spence never got his full potential out of his career. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that, brother, because being a three belt unified champion is something that most fighters will never accomplish in their career. So if he retired right now, he can still say he had a great career. Right? Why not get the? He only, you see, that's the thing in boxing. When a fighter loses, we tend to exaggerate the impact of that loss. Like, oh my God, like you're saying he didn't reach the full potential, but he had a great. If Errol Spence never stepped in the ring again, he had a great career. Right now, we could say, yo, Errol had a great career. Vic, I can't believe how much of a hype Sue ended up being. Damn, he took a couple of bad losses, man. Real bad ones, man. Especially Bakra Mortasaliev beat the shit out of him. Oliver, I was there live when he matched Kell Brook. Great fighter. That's what I'm talking about, man. Errol Spence is a reason why he had that name, the Truth, and people respected that name. Great champion, and had a long, good run in the division. Gotta respect Errol Spence. Gotta give him his flowers. Now he took one L, and we don't know what's next for Errol, or what are we gonna see from him? How is he gonna look when we finally see him step in the ring if he does? Clarence McLean, No Doug Zone podcast in the building. Salute, my brother. Bam. Appreciate you dropping in. So again, right now we don't know what's next for Errol Spence. The only thing that we've seen is that little subliminal shot from Jermell Charlo, that lion eating a shark, and then I saw a little clip with Charlo saying, "Yo, if people know what I do to southpaws, knock them out." Let's see, my people. I think that's a good fight because I've only been asking for a tune-up because I don't think Errol, after 2 years of inactivity, should come to one of these hungry lions. But Jermell Charlo been inactive for right about the same amount of time. Yeah, they could come back against each other. Boom. Yes, sir. Settle that ring rust amongst each other. Oliver, do you think Manny calling his dog Thurman is a disrespect? Um, uh, nah, I don't want to say. I think that's more like fun banter, fun trash talking type of shit because you name an animal, you name your pets, whatever you want. So I don't think it's a big deal. My opinion, at least. Vic, Colossal whip Spence. I don't know. That's just an opinion. Oliver, do you ever watch Porky's Corner? Never seen it. Never seen it. Never seen it, my people. So, again, like I was just telling you guys, you can see that Ring Magazine, they going hard. We're promoting Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford. They dedicated. They promoting that fight like they should. Check it out, my people. Brian Norman Jr. in preparation for Devin Haney. It's crazy because some of us see Brian Norman Jr. putting all type of hands on Dev, and then there's people out there saying Devin is gonna make it look easy. Clarence McLean, I'm doing a throwback today. Michael Nunn versus James Toney. Ooh, damn. You trying to watch some serious action right there, my brother. Vic, I hope it's not a fixed bid purse. That I don't know. But to be honest, I don't really care about that. When it comes to money, I don't care about it. Fighters make whatever they make. I let them concern themselves with that. Y'all make y'all money. We enjoy the show. Oliver, Porky is a UK boxing YouTuber who has beef with Carl Froch. It's funny as anything. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out for sure. But I will say, Porky needs to check me out. Somebody needs to go on Porky, like, yo, Porky, go check out some boxing. Go check out some boxing for breakfast. So y'all can get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Ramirez, salute to the panel. Vic, so Crawford get paid. Everybody getting paid, my brother. We don't have to worry about that. All these people is making millions of dollars, bro. They all millionaires. They all making millions. I'm not worried about this guy getting 10 million and this guy getting 50 million. None of us got 1 million. They all millionaires, brother. We don't have to worry. Crawford is a millionaire right now. He made millions of an Arrow, and he's gonna make millions of a Canelo. He got businesses. He got all type of investments. Trust me, we don't need to worry about how much he making. He good. He a millionaire. He wealthy. Generational wealth. Loma, Canelo will be too strong on fight night. Nah. You probably thought he was gonna be too strong for Floyd. Got beat up. Was gonna be too strong for Dimitri Bivol. Got beat up. Crawford gonna beat him up too. I'm telling you, Terrence Crawford is gonna put the Swiss, the Dre, and the Applebee's. Oliver, do you think Yard will have any chance against Benavidez? I think he got a puncher's chance. I think he got a puncher's chance. He's not. He's not gonna outbox him. He's not gonna beat him on the cards. I don't see that at all. But if it's a situation where they trading and Benavidez eats a big shot that he doesn't see coming, boom, put his head on a swivel, it can happen. It can actually happen. Oliver, Bud was a wrestler. He's stronger physically than many heavier guys. Look, bro, I'm gonna tell you this. Terrence Crawford is a lot stronger than people give him credit for. It's almost disrespectful the way that they're approaching this, as if he's a little weakling. I seen Bud deadlift 500 pounds. Bro, this guy deadlift 500 pounds, like just yanked it up wearing regular clothes. Regular clothes. Come on now. Come on now. Talking Tom, whatever. You're saying yo and hello. You want to say something about boxing? Instead of just saying yo and hello over and over. Vic, yes, jeans, bro, in jeans and regular shoes and a regular shirt. Yanked up 500 pounds, bro. Yeah, I guarantee you, Terrence Crawford in the gym will lift heavier than Canelo Alvarez. And will do more reps than Canelo Alvarez. Will bench more than Canelo Alvarez. But people talking like he a little weakling. People talking like he's a little weakling. Loma, Crawford struggle with Madrimov. Canelo struggle with Bivol, who got shorter arms than Crawford. Got beat up. You see, you talk about the people Crawford struggled against, and you forgot Canelo got his ass whooped twice. There's two people with two different styles that Canelo struggled against and got his ass whooped. So there you have it. There's that. And your own logic tells you Canelo getting his ass whooped. Because if you compare struggling with a fighter that you beat versus getting your ass whooped twice, I'm only using your logic. You telling me that Canelo getting whooped. That's what you telling me. Vic, people in for a surprise. Clarence McLean, no Doug's on podcast. Shaking my damn hand, bro. Things be that way, my guy. Vic, Bud ain't cutting weight this time. What do you mean he ain't cutting weight this time? This dude was walking around weighing in the 180s. You damn right he got to cut weight to make 168. Bruce, Crawford beat Madrimov 8-4 easy. He beat him easy, but you know what it is, man. The haters is always going to say, nah, that was close and he struggled. One easy on the cards. But still, if you want to say he struggled, mans in them got his ass whooped twice. What are we talking about? Why is it that Canelo fans be acting like he never lost? Don't be pointing out that Crawford struggled against a fighter that he beat when we see Canelo get his ass whooped twice and made to look easy. Bro, Canelo was made to look easy. At no point in time did he look like he could beat Floyd. He looked like he was getting sunned out there. And then with Bivol, by the 6th round, man, we already knew he was getting his ass whooped. We was, those Canelo fans who didn't know Bivol like that was like, just hoping that he might land one big shot, make something happen for himself. Bivol was just whooping his ass round after round after round. And y'all talking about, but Crawford struggled against Bivol. I'm surprised you didn't bring up Gamboa. And 11 years ago, he got hurt by little Gamboa 11 years ago, and I don't know how many weight classes to weigh. That's the goofiest one that I debunked a million times. Vic, Bivol beat Canelo for 12 rounds. Bro, beat him like that was his son. Beat him like that was his stepdaddy. We all saw that. Bruce Lara, Austin Trout, Triple G, all suspect wins for Canelo. Now, Austin Trout, I gave it to Canelo. I felt like Austin Trout just had some moments that made people feel like he got him. Because sometimes, when a good fighter gets hit more than what we're used to seeing him, we're like, they got him. But now he got Austin Trout. Lara, though, that's questionable. That is very questionable. I'm not gonna take that away from Canelo because it was a very close fight. There was some swing rounds, and when it's a very close swing round is usually gonna go in the favor of the name, of the star, of the guy, of the champ. You got to take it from the champ. So I think that there were rounds where maybe Lara didn't take it away from Canelo. It was close, it was competitive, but they're gonna score those for Canelo. But it's questionable. It could have went either way. Bruce, Majimov is Bivol's sparring partner. That's irrelevant. So I don't know what's the point of that. It matter to 10. I'm a Canelo fan, and I got to admit, he whooped twice, plain and simple. But it would have made up excuse when he lost it. But I would have make up excuses when he lost it. But you have to understand, my brother, you're speaking for yourself. And the reason I tell you that is because there's an entire large fan base who will tell you, nah, Canelo only lost to Floyd because he was too young. And he only lost to Bivol because he was too small. So according to that group of people, they got an excuse for every Canelo loss. I'm waiting for one of them to tell me he's undefeated. Fuck it. Might as well tell me he ain't never lost that. Loma, I ain't talking Bivol. He's irrelevant in the square circle. Come fight night. I don't know why would he be irrelevant. He's a reigning world champion with 3 belts. Why would he be irrelevant? Clarence McLean, no Doug Zone podcast, JSmiff. Where you find these people? Bro, I don't know. You know that there's a stalker that creates like 100 accounts every day and goes into the channel. The vegetable, the veggie salad, aka the pedophile, Noel Beato. New York City school teacher who abused the students. He be creating fake accounts to stalk and harass. Bruce, if sparring doesn't matter, Crawford Camp would have made a big deal about Bruce helping Canelo in sparring. But okay, Bruce, the problem with what you just said is that it's not Crawford's camp. It's the haters like yourself who's all over social media talking about Boots helping Canelo, Boots. Which that shit is mad corny as hell because nobody else is doing it for you guys. I haven't seen nobody doing it but the Tankomaniac. The Tankomaniacs is all over social media talking about Boots is messed up because he's going against the grain and he's going against, now they trying to hold up Boots to a code. How many black fighters have Canelo worked with in sparring and they never said nothing about that? You haters never said nothing about that when Canelo worked with other black fighters. Now, because he's gonna fight Terrence Crawford, y'all butt hurt, and that's always making up fake stories. That stuff that you're talking about, Crawford camp is complaining. Man, listen, that's the same like when y'all talking about the Crawford and the steroid stuff. Y'all make things up out of thin air, out of plain thin air, and you spread it out like you're talking facts. Stop it, bro. Stop it. This is not about spreading lies and spreading fake news. Bruce, I never had a problem with Bernie, the boxer, said that. Yeah, but Bernie, the boxer, says a lot of shit, man. Sometimes he's saying real shit, sometimes he cap. Sometimes he be trolling, he just be having fun. F foreign. That's how you know we live in the internet age. Motherfuckers go off their man's. I take the man's word, not his homie. My peoples, but the most common shit is folks coming to argue or to debate or talking point, and it's a bunch of irrelevant stuff. Bunch of irrelevant stuff. Terrence Crawford is gonna put the Swiss beats on Canelo Alvarez. That's how you're gonna get that. And by the way, I just want to point one something out. When Errol Spence was gonna fight Terrence Crawford, none of the people who started bringing up the car accident said anything about that car accident. It was all about whole narrative was about how Crawford was too small, he was getting knocked out. That was the whole narrative. Ah, but when Bub put the Swiss beats on Errol Spence, now the accident came up. Like the Errol Spence car accident, I have already debunked it as one of the worst excuses used in boxing history. Let that sizzle in your spirit. Dr. Wang, it seems like you defend Bud and Shakur a lot. Are you on the payroll, Mr. Smith? Damn, but we wasn't even talking about Shakur. Why you bringing up Shakur? Rather odd. Bruce, bunch of weirdos, if I may say. I'm not saying it, Bruce, but go ahead and say it. A lot of weirdo stuff going on. We over here talking boxing, my peoples. Again, Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Bud Crawford is being promoted hard. It's being pushed by Ring Magazine, which we've already said is owned or ran or co-owned by His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh. JJ's in the house. Hello, JSmiff. I'm here. It's lunchtime. Lunchtime over here too, my G. You know it. So we've been reviewing, stuff from Ring Magazine. Like I said, their most recent post is about Canelo Alvarez. It's about Terrence Crawford. I said it before. I'll say it again. They've done an amazing job of promoting this super fight. This is going to be the biggest fight of this era. And guess what? This is going to be a very entertaining fight, my people. Terrence Crawford is not going there to survive. He's not going there to try to say, look, I went 12 rounds with Canelo Alvarez. You're going there to whoop that ass, my people. And y'all don't want to believe it. Y'all don't want to accept it. You should have learned when he put the beats on Errol, my people. When Terrence Crawford put the beats on Errol, you should have learned. You said Errol was going to knock him out. You said Errol was too big, too strong, too much power. And then you watched him get pummeled. And now you're using the same narrative of too big and too strong? Yes, right? Somebody goes in the chat and says, hi, like 13. Okay. 13 what? Tell somebody else. We don't want to know. What does Errol got to do with Canelo? Easy. You thought this guy was too big and he got pummeled. You think this guy's too big, he gonna get pummeled. You should have learned the other time around that size does not win fights. That's what Errol got to do with Canelo. Bruce, the internet, I tell you, is actually one or two people doing that. Believe it or not. Give me a second, my people. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring this. JJ's in the house. Let's go. 13 likes. Let's go, my peoples. Y'all know what it is, man. Hit that like button up there. Double tap the screen. I had an OG tell me, yo, Jay, I never hit the like button because I don't know how to hit the like button. I don't see it nowhere. My boy. My what? Come on, my what? Right there, look. Up there. Boom. That's right there. You hit it. Or you could just double tap the screen, OG. Bam, bam. And there you have it. Bruce, Errol and Canelo, two different fighters. I'm going for Crawford, but that shit irrelevant. You clearly not understanding what I'm telling you. I'm not saying that they're the same type of fighters. You don't have to tell me that they different type of fighters. When you say that they're different type of fighters, you arguing against yourself. It's like you're making a talking point so that you can argue against yourself and make sense. Because I never said that they're the same type of fighter. I said if you arguing that this guy's too big and too strong, and your whole argument now is that he's also too big and too strong, clearly you didn't learn the first time around that big and strong is not what wins fights. You need to be educated. You need to subscribe to this channel so I can break it down for you so you can learn that size and strength doesn't win fights. That's when I get into the part where I explain to you that the two people who whooped Canelo ass didn't have size and power. Floyd Mayweather, Dimitri Bivol, two fighters with a low knockout percentage. But I'll explain that only if I have to. It should be self-explanatory that you don't need power to win a fight. But with Errol Spence, you should have learned that. If you thought, and you definitely, Bruce, you definitely thought that Errol Spence was going to pummel Crawford. You should have already learned that size and power doesn't mean that somebody's going to win a fight. You should have learned that. And now you're finding other ways to say, no, this is different because, no, Bruce, no, Bruce. That's not the way that it works. You thought power and size was going to win the fight for Arrow. Now you think power and size is going to win the fight for Canelo. Ain't nobody talking about styles. You want to get into all the details. I understand that. But still, it's size and power. When you talk about size and power, you're not talking about style. When you talk about Canelo's bigger and stronger, you're not talking about style. Now you want to bring up style because it suits your needs. You see? Crawford. I'm going for him, but the argument makes no sense. Nah, you're actually a Terrence Crawford hater who makes that argument, and you make all the Canelo Alvarez fan arguments, but then you say, no, but I'm a Crawford fan, but I make all the same arguments that they make. Stop the cap, homie. Just say I don't like Crawford. You don't have to front and be like, I'm a Crawford fan, but I'm gonna make the Canelo arguments. You ain't fooling nobody, champ. I see people make those type of arguments every single day. Bruce, I got mad money betting on Canelo. Nobody even betting on Crawford. Nobody even asking or talking about who you betting on. Yeah, that's cap too. I don't believe you. You're a Crawford hater. I mean, you got money on him if you think, but you're a Crawford hater 100% without a shred of doubt. Crawford haters always do that. They make the best arguments against them, and then they say, but I'm a Crawford fan though. Come on, man. Yo, Crawford and Shakur, they the only fighters who got in the class of haters. They the only fighters that I see were in the class of haters. And what I mean by that is that they always make the arguments against them. They'll discredit their opponents. They'll discredit everything. And then they'll say, nah, but I'm a fan of them. You know it's a Shakur hater when they be like, yo, I'm a fan of Shakur, but I'm concerned about his hand, that he might get hurt in the next fight. Huh? You concerned about his hand? What you talking about? What are you talking about? Why you bringing this negative energy that you concerned about his hand? But I'm a fan of his. And I'm a fan of Terrence Crawford, but I'm concerned that he's not going to be able to take Canelo's power. But I'm a fan of his. Nah, bro, y'all the haters. Y'all the haters. I recognize y'all. Always making the hater point of view and shit. But my people, once again, that fight is going down on the 13th. Look, it's already August 28th. It's a little bit over 2 weeks before we finally get that fight. And I'm going to tell you what. This dude is fried. All right. So just take a quick time out so you can watch me. Just watch me. You watch me. Because I'm fried, but you watching me. I'm not watching you. I don't know you. I don't know where you at. Keep watching, Goofy. Hater. In the closet hater. Goofball. You see how I expose you? You see that JJ's in there has another in the closet hater. I'm rooting for Crawford, and I got money on Crawford. But everything you're saying don't make no sense about Canelo because Canelo, and don't compare him to Errol because, man, shut your goofy ass hating ass up. I identify you with the quickness. But you can watch me. And it's just a 24-hour break. So if tomorrow you want to come back and be less corny, we talk boxing. Imada 210. I'm a Canelo fan. But I'm concerned about his stamina and getting out box. Um, getting out box. Look, I think he could get out box stamina wise. I'm not sure because Canelo has had fights where he kind of faded late, but he's also had fights where you saw him have that second surge in the championship rounds. You saw it with Triple G where he needed that. So I don't know, man. I think. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second. AG, hello from Green Acres, Florida, brother. Salute. Bam. Appreciate you dropping in. So listen, my people, we talking about this Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Bud Crawford, biggest fight in boxing. And that's it, man. We're less than 3 weeks away from this epic showdown. Less than 3 weeks away, my people. That's it. It's not gonna be no more predictions, trash talking, and all that other stuff, and the fake conspiracies that the haters love to spread. It's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a fight, my people. I already told you guys, I got the vibe, the same vibe that I got during the Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford lead up is the same vibe that I'm getting now. That's why that goofball needed to get put on mute. I never said Errol and Canelo was the same. No, I never said that. Goofball. I hope that goofy watching me let him know you're goofy. Nobody said that they the same. But the narrative, my peoples, was identical. The narrative was that Errol was too big. Errol was too strong. Now notice this. In that fight, he's arguing like he was rooting for Errol. Oh, he's arguing hard on that. Like he was rooting for Errol. And you really believe this time around he's a Crawford fan? This time around you're a Crawford fan. And he's making the argument for Canelo. Come on, dude. Let's keep it real. Michael Walker. What up, JSmiff? We gotta be real. Crawford is the pound for pound best right now. Canelo could have had a better chance had this been 3-5 years back. Right now, Crawford at the top of the world. Nah, I think the problem is 3-5 years back, it would have been impossible because of the weight classes. You gotta understand that it's only possible because Crawford first made that jump to 154. So it wouldn't have even been possible. But I will say, I don't agree with that simply because Canelo's still performing at a championship level. The guy is the undisputed champion in the division. So it's not like he's fighting a guy who's out there getting beat up. This is the reigning undisputed champion in the division. So that's who Terrence Crawford would beat right now. That's that's the thing. In a way, that's kind of like taken away from that win. To say, no, well, Canelo's not the same, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It's kind of like the same thing with Errol. Oh well, Errol's not the same. You know, the accident. So it's almost like for Terrence Crawford, there's always gonna be a way to take away from his wins. There's always something that people gonna, and you can really do that with any fighter because people did it with Floyd too. That's what happened when you're great. People did that with Floyd too. With Floyd, oh well, you know, all those guys he beat, they was washed up already. They wasn't the same anymore. We've seen that throughout the history of boxing, where a guy achieves greatness, and then you have the fans that pick apart their resume to try to say, look, this guy, look at that guy, look at that guy. Meanwhile, the guy's winning titles, beating undefeated fighters, accomplishing, and people still find a way to knock him, bro. Give me a second, yo, my peoples. I'll be right back. Stay with me. What we talking about, my peoples? Michael Walker. Who will you say is the best pound for pound active boxer currently? We need your top five. You gotta talk for yourself, my brother. You need my top five, not we. Not ready to give you a top five. I will say Crawford, Inoue, Usyk, top three. Any order that you want to put it. JJ said there are 17 likes. Let's go. My goodness, man. I almost went for an hour. Almost my whole lunchtime, and I couldn't get 20 likes. God damn, my people. That's quite brutal. Brutal, I tell you. It matter 210. Do you think Canelo can hurt Crawford? I mean, I think Canelo can hurt Crawford. Crawford can hurt Canelo. If they catch each other with the right shot, anybody can get hurt. As simple as that. It just takes the right punch at the right time. That's it. That's all it takes. The notion that, oh well, Canelo cannot be knocked out because he got hit by Triple G, that's erroneous. It's not about who you got hit by, it's how you get hit. If he get caught with a shot he doesn't see coming, he could get hurt just like anybody else. So, the question, can Crawford hurt Canelo or can Canelo hurt Crawford? Yes. Either one of them can land a shot at the right time and hurt their opponent. Is that going to happen? We don't know. We don't know. But the assumption is, notice how you ask, can Canelo hurt Crawford? But people not really asking, oh, can Crawford hurt Canelo? It's like you're assuming that he cannot. Most people assume that Crawford doesn't have the power, doesn't have the strength, doesn't have what it takes to hurt Canelo Alvarez. Man, I wish a lot of you understood the abilities, but you don't. You don't understand it. That's the problem. And people should have understood what Terrence Crawford was about. They should have understood it when they went hard against him in that Errol Spence fight, only to watch Errol get battered. Battered, my people. Come on, man. After watching that beating, I thought people was gonna respect him. They started hating him more. He mattered to 10. I'm bad. I didn't mean it like that. Omar Rizwani, what's up, bro? What's up? Listen, that's one of the few fights that I watched and I felt sorry for somebody. By the time they got to like maybe the 6th, 7th round, I was feeling sorry for Errol. I'm like, damn, man, he taking a real nasty beating. That's a real nasty. If you think about it, to see a fighter who's undefeated, who's a world champion, 3-belt unified champion, a guy, the big fish, Errol been putting the beats on people, the body snatcher. And to watch him just get absolutely pummeled by Terrence Crawford. I'm telling you, by like the 6th, 7th round, when Crawford was just like teeing off on him, I was feeling bad for Errol. I'm like, damn, bro. And I predicted that Crawford was gonna stop him in the 8th or the 9th round. I posted those videos, those receipts. I predicted it. I'm like, nah, yo, Crawford is gonna stop him. And I said it over and over. You're gonna stop him in the 8th or the 9th. So I wasn't surprised for the stoppage because I was expecting it, but I was not expecting that type of a pummeling session, my peoples. That type of beating? Nah, no way. I could tell you one fight that was kind of like that is Floyd Mayweather versus Diego Chico Corrales. At that time, Floyd was still money made. And Chico was undefeated, rest in peace. Chico Corrales, he was undefeated at the time and just destroying the competition. And people thought that he was going to give Floyd a heck of a fight because Floyd was mad nice, but he didn't have that type of power like Chico Corrales. So the argument was, or the narrative, that Corrales was going to be too strong. Floyd wasn't going to be able to stay away from his power for the whole 12 rounds. He was going to end up catching Floyd. And then we watched that fight where Floyd just put on a clinic. A sack of punches to the face, to the head, to the ears, to the temple, to the mouth, to the body. Floyd Mayweather put on a clinic on Diego Corrales. Dropped him multiple times. Just was out there baiting him up. Crazy. We was not expecting Floyd Mayweather to fight like that. It's like you're thinking he's going to run, he's going to have to use that footwork, and he did exactly what Shakur did with Zepeda. He did the opposite of what everybody thought he was going to do. The difference is, I'm saying what Shakur did to Zepeda, as far as not fighting the way people thought he would, but it's a different outcome. It's a different outcome, Shakur. We know when the distance was Zepeda, Floyd got stoppage. So I will say, man, look, right now, when it comes to Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford, that's the biggest fight of this era. But when we look at the all-time big fights, great fights, that's gonna rank up there with the best of them, my peoples. You let that sizzle in your spirit. Terrence Crawford, the guy who so many people hated on, who so many people made up fake narratives about, who they try to discredit his opponents. Now the guy is one of the most accomplished fighters in boxing and about to be involved in one of the biggest fights in boxing. That's what happens when no matter how much you hate, somebody's just too talented, and your hate is not gonna stop the train. That's just the reality, my people. Hate cannot stop the train. JJ's in the house. I have Crawford back over 3 months ago, and now I have Fernando Vargas Jr. $50 to win 175. He might have 210. How does Crawford versus Boots go at 154? I don't know. I mean, I don't got nobody beating Crawford right now. If he fight Boots in a couple of years, I got Boots winning that fight. I don't see 40-year-old Crawford beating Boots. But if he beat Canelo and go back down to 154 and fight Boots, he whooping that ass. But that's not gonna happen because if he go back down to 154, he got a title. Was he stripped? I don't think he was stripped of his 154 titles. If he wasn't, he'll be able to defend that. He'll be able to unify titles. I'm thinking if he goes back down to 154, it could be a unification with Fundora. He's not gonna fight somebody who doesn't have a strap. That's it. At this point in his career, Crawford's taking titles, making history, back to back. Lyrics, no one beats Bud at this time. I don't think so. I don't think no one beat him at this time. Crawford is the type of fighter who he only loses if he fights against somebody who's too big or if they age him out. At 40 years old, by the time he gets to 40, I feel like Boots could beat him. Give him 2 more years, Boots could beat him. Right now, nah. Come on, bro. We talking about the same Boots that need tune-ups at 154. Terrence Crawford is fighting the face of boxing at 168. And Boots need tune-ups at 154. They didn't want to fight Virgil. So I think that's pretty telling right there. My peoples, I'm about to end this live. But before I do, as always, I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in. JJ's in there, has Imada 210, and everybody else, man. Everybody else who show love. Y'all know what it is, man. This is Box Center. This is your favorite boxers, favorite boxing show. My peoples, tomorrow we're going to be on at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Y'all know what we do. We're going to be talking boxing like we do with my peoples. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm getting the hell out of here. Salute everybody. Bam. Vámonos de aquí, mi gente.